Hey friends, let me show you how to create this pallet sign. It says let it snow. It's got a cardinal and a snowman and snowflakes. We're going to do a couple of different paint techniques. We're going to do some splatter paint, and I'm going to paint one piece the wrong color. I have to go back and repaint it. So right now I'm painting the eyes and the words let it snow in black. So I'm painting all the smaller pieces first. That way they can be drying while I'm working on the bigger pieces. And I'm using chalk paste. You can totally use craft paint, any kind, in these colors or in whatever colors you want to use. And it is super simple. Most of the items I only put one coat on because I'm going to make it look a little distressed, and we're going to do some paint splatters. So I'm using cherry paste right here on the cardinal and then a little bit of bumblebee yellow. Now I'm painting the scarf, and the color is called colonial blue. Now if you want your snowman to have a different color scarf, totally use whatever color you want, green, red. Then I'm dry brushing a little bit of white around on the edges, sort of, to resemble snow, but to also make it have dimension. Now I'm painting all the snowflakes in white, and I'm using bright white chalk paste. These paints are thick, but like I said, you can use acrylic paints if you want to, or chalk paint, whatever you have on hand. This is super simple. Now I'm just taking that same dry brush and adding a little bit to my words. I'm going to add some to the cardinal and to the carrot nose. And we'll add more details to these pieces. That piece that I'm drying is the one I painted the wrong color. That should have been black also, because that's the brim of the hat. So I'm doing the same thing now after I painted the top hat, adding a little blue dry brush, and then I'll add a little white dry brush. Then I'm going to lay that brim on there and add. I didn't glue it down yet. Now I'm going to paint the face in white. And y'all, there is like eyebrows and this mouth that I'm going to use later on. I'm going to use a tack to lift that paint out of there. So here I've watered down some storm or gray. I want this to look like a rustic palette. So I'm just watering down chalk paste and using it like stain. You could use a stain if you wanted to. Now I'm just adding a little bit of black. I like to add dimension. I don't like my paintings to look flat. So you see that little notch at the top in the middle? Put that part of the sign right under it. And then I took some of my glue and put it in a little pan so that I could just put this on with a brush. Now I'm going to put that right there. And you'll see me, I'm going to go back and forth with these pieces. So here I am, while those pieces of the palette sign are drying, I did the same to the top and bottom. Now here's where I'm using that little tack to dig out the paint in the eyebrow section and the mouth. You could use a marker if you wanted to. I just want it to be a faint look. So now we're going to glue the brim on, the carrot nose. I kind of dry fit it first and then add the glue. And now you see I got a little glue on the top there. I almost put the words on first. Put the snowman on, then you can add the words, because that L kind of droops down on top of the hat. And if you do what I did, you'll see why you need to put snowman on first. So here we go. And also, you may notice that I painted the eyes. If you lose the little eyes, it comes with little eyes. If you lose them, you can totally paint the eyes in. But I did find mine and glue them on top. So, look, there's all kinds of things that crafters do, and sometimes we lose little pieces. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that in case you have to paint your eyes in. You totally can. And now I like to use these Posca paint markers to add little dots and lines to give like a little extra dimension to everything I do. So sometimes it's a little straight line, sometimes it's 3 dots. And then we're going to put that big snowflake right there. Now let's work on this scarf. And like I said, you could totally make this any color you like. I'm just adding my glue, gluing it on right there. And the little knot. And then I'm going to put a snowflake on top there. Now this comes with several snowflakes, and you can put them around on the board wherever you like. This is just where I'm putting mine. Because, you know, every snowflake is different and can fall into different places. And I was like, I think this needs some polka dots. So I added some polka dots, and then I'm going to use that same pen and go around and make some dots and little squiggly lines. And I don't know if you guys have ever used like a paint pen. You could use like a thin line brush, but look how cute that makes things look. I don't know, it just kind of stands out, adds a little signature design to your artwork. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, you can go around and put little dots and lines and squiggly lines wherever you want them. Now I'm going to water down some white paste, take a brush and flick it on here because, y'all, I didn't think there was enough snow. So I'm adding more. And you could also flick on other colors like red or black. I decided to stick with white. And I hope you guys love this. I'm drying it. It was so fun to make. And I will see y'all later. Thanks for watching.